Hello everyone and welcome back to Equilinox, and we are here in our thriving world, which we've almost covered everything actually. There's just this little area in the middle that doesn't have anything, and that's where we're going to put our desert and maybe some more mountain stuff. And speaking of the desert, if you guys are following Thin Matrix on Twitter, then there's some awesome stuff coming up for that, it looks like. In fact, there's a lot of awesome features that are going to be added to the game. I'm starting to worry we won't have room for them all in one world, honestly, because there's so many cool things that are going to be added. And if you guys don't follow Thin Matrix on Twitter and you're on Twitter, I would highly recommend you do so, because you get a lot of cool sneak previews there, and some of what's coming up looks absolutely incredible. Also, in regards to the mass deletion tool that I was asking about last time, to access the species-specific one, you just have to hit this remove many option, and so that's how you do it. That's why I was that's why I was messing up. I figured it would come from something from the deletion tool, but no, it actually comes from the specific ones. So let's head up here and take a look at our snow biome. Some of you guys were asking about the barley. We looked at that a little bit here, but I think, if I remember correctly, what it was is that I think barley actually spreads... No, it doesn't spread woodland, but I think what it is then is that it doesn't like to be quite this high up. So it likes to be below 50 meters, so you can see... Well, actually... What was it then that was the problem with barley? There was some reason we couldn't do that. Oh yeah, it doesn't like the grassland biome. That's what's happening here. So, unfortunately, that's not a good option for us right now, unless we manage to squeeze some in over here. But even with that said, the chickens don't like trees, and so there's not really a good option for getting anything up here that would support population of... Sorry about that, you guys. My phone went off. But as I was saying, there's not really a good option for getting the chickens up there. So the foxes in this area do have to end up being kind of dependent on the wolves, unfortunately, which has been an issue. But what we're going to try and do this time is to get some sheep in here. The goats are actually... The goats are having a difficult time of things, but I wanted to get the blueberry bushes, so let me figure out where we were with that. Did we actually get that in? We haven't yet. No. So we needed that from over here, right? And then we're also going to be trying to work with getting bees. Oh, and I think that was actually what we needed for that, wasn't it? We need bees. So yeah, we're going to be working on the bees. And hopefully that'll let us get something up here that will enable us to have a more sustainable population of foxes and wolves. Because our poor wolves are having a hard time hunting the goats up here. They've been having a hard time with actually being able to take them down. They keep dying off, and so that's been a bit of a problem. So we keep getting that digging a hole task, which is good. And as Thin Matrix pointed out, it is possible to get tropical biome a little bit higher up. So if we look at this, some of the plants I think spread it a little bit higher up, but we can't have stuff like the trees or any of that down there, so we need different plants to do so. But while we're just standing here racking up DP, let's actually get a move on, because I want to see what we needed to get the bees. So we need them to have a diet of poppy, which is what we'd set up last time over here in the woodlands. So we have poppies right down here, and hopefully if we put in some butterflies here, we can go ahead and see that. Alright, hopefully they will decide to eat the, nope, they're not going to. Okay, we need to find a place where we can just have poppies. We have other flowers over here. We've got some this way. We've got quite a lot here. So let me look at the poppies again. So, oops, that's animals. That's not going to help us. Where are they? They're right here. They spread woodland biomes, and they like stones. So let's just see if we can get just some, let's see if we can get just an area with poppies, and only poppies in right here. Because they do spread the woodland biome, and so we should be able to get them reasonably happy? Maybe? No, they're not happy because of the barren land. So let's see what else we need for woodland. So we can put in elm trees and sycamore, and that will help make this a little bit better here. Let's spread these in. Are these having an okay... The altitude factor at the very top is not ideal, but as long as we have enough trees, we'll be fine. So now we should be able to speed up time a little bit once the flowers start growing in. Then we can actually put in some butterflies over here, and that will help us. Man, the butterflies are surprisingly expensive. So let's see. Now they're going to start eating our... Oh, there's the butterfly. Are we able to get bees? Yes, we are. All right. So... And I imagine they'll want trees or something to make hives, because I have a feeling that's what's going to need to happen here. Okay, so we have our first bee, and it's going to get flowers. It's going to get the flowers there. I'm going to drop it right here, and hopefully it'll be pretty happy. Yes. It eats meat and flowers. That's not what I expected. I didn't realize that was going to be a thing. Oh, when a fully built hive is nearby, the bees will use it to start producing honey, but they will sting any nearby mammals unless calmed. Okay, so we need to be kind of careful about where the bees will be putting their hives. We want to kind of restrict them to an area a little ways away, I think. And then if we put, if we can get a berry bush in, which I think, where is it? They're right here. They like to be below 50 meters, so we can just plunk one down here. And we should be able to start getting our blueberry bush. Now, these like... grassland, forest, woodland, and lush, but they like to be below 60 meters, which means that we can actually... Why are we having so many problems with that? Because the bees keep flying closer and farther away, I think is what's happening. But we can actually put those up a little bit higher and have food for sheep or something, which will help our wolves. And that will in turn help our foxes, because that's what we've been having problems with. And it just goes to show how the ecosystem is all connected. And this is the case in real life as well, which is one of the things I love about this game, is that it actually demonstrates very, very clearly why ecosystems are connected and why it's so important, why every member of an ecosystem is important, basically. So if we go right here, it should be fairly happy. Is it? I think it's pretty happy. It's in a suitable biome, so that's good. Let's place down a bunch of these because, not berry bushes, blueberry bushes. So the altitude factor is still going to be good. As long as we have a good altitude factor for the most part, we should be able to then support a population of sheep, I believe. Sheep or deer. They eat fruit bushes. What about deer? They're medium herbivores. They eat fruit bushes and honey. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is... I'm going to put in some of the deer, I think, because they'll be a little bit easier to take down. Or do they like... Yeah, they do like grassland. So that's good. We'll put in some deer just to make it a little bit more interesting, so that's not sheep all the time. We'll also put some sheep as well, I think, in a slightly different area, because we do have a quest. But I think that's only a one-time quest, actually. So, let me see. If we put that over here, they'll also eat grasses, so that's good. We can put a couple sheep over here. And now we should start to see some benefit to our wolves, which I don't think do we have a population of them still? These goats are doing fairly well. Yeah, I'm not seeing any wolves. I think the problem that we're having is that they are getting taken out by the goats because the goats are so strong. So if we put some wolves in over here, because now we don't even have foxes, I don't think. I'm pretty sure they've all died off. So now we have no major predator in this ecosystem. What we want to do is put... Okay, what is their liked species that we don't have? Trees and large rocks. We need to place some of those rocks a little bit farther down. And we have snow rocks here. Let's put some of them down here. A little bit farther down. I'm going to put... Let's look at what spreads the snow biome, because I want to put some more of these. We should also look at the spruce trees and see what those are going to like, because I bet they come from fir trees. If we look here, yes. We want bluebells, which do bluebells come from holly? No. Where do we get bluebells? Oops, let me see. There we go. They come from tulips. So if we look at our tulips at some point, are these tulips? Those are daisies. These are tulips. So, Bluebells, we need the color trait of purple and biome 20% snow, which we actually have here. So if we find this one, we can actually get the color trait of purple. And there we go. Buy that. And then whenever we have any purple ones that come in, which we actually have one right here, we can just go ahead and start breeding the Bluebells, and we can put those in the snow biome. And okay, we got the requirement for the butterfly hunter task, which was auto-collected. So where is the Bluebell? Right here. And these should go in the snow biome, right? Yes. So these will spread the snow biome. What exactly do they like? They like to be above 50 meters. We can use them to spread it a little bit farther. We'll place some of these down here. That'll help spread it, kind of merge it with this other biome. I don't think the goats will eat them. But yeah, we are completely out of predators up here just because the wolves couldn't handle the damage they were taking. It was causing them to not be able to reproduce fast enough. And again, that's a big thing that we've seen through a lot of our series is the risk versus reward factor, pretty much. Okay, we also need a greater size trait here. I'm going to boost that real quickly. But yeah, so if the risk is too great, then an animal risks not being able to pass on its genes, and of course that's a big problem, because in the wild, it's all about being able to spread your genes, and so if something prevents you from doing that, then it's a big issue, and so that's why it's so important that animals are careful about what they do, pretty much, because otherwise, I can't even read these numbers, but otherwise they could end up dying before they have the chance to do that. Oh, we got the reward. Okay, so we filled a hive with honey. That's awesome. I didn't even see that was a quest. I wasn't even paying attention to that. But yeah, so that's why animals will try and avoid taking unnecessary risks, because, of course, if they can't pass on their genes, then they're basically failing their purpose in life. The goal of an animal is to pass on its genes. And if it can't do that, then that's a big problem, and that's what can lead to species dying off, and that's why some species have such a hard time with changes. They just struggle to adapt to them, and if they can't adapt to them, then they can't reproduce fast enough to keep up with the animals that are dying off. That makes it easier to read the size traits. There we go. There's got to be one that's going to come in soon, right? With a larger size trait? I don't see one. Is this one? Nope. I'm going to remove a few of these so that hopefully this one will be the one to reproduce. Just so that it's not competing with the others in its area. We should have one pretty soon, right? I would think so. I can't imagine we wouldn't. Now I can't see again. We have a 101. I'm going to not just stand here and wait for this to happen. I'm going to do other things currently. Let's go ahead and we'll add the wolves back in. Whoa, we have 800,000 DP. So if we go up here, what are the wolves' other like species? So trees and large rocks. Okay, well we got to make sure we add more trees in then, which I was hoping not to do in that area. And then we have our, we want to put more large rocks. Actually, that's what's going on here. We have small rocks that I thought were larger rocks, but they weren't. So let's go ahead. Now we should be able, yeah, now they'll be nice and happy. We can get our wolves back in. I want to get their population stable before we do anything more like that. Maybe we'll set this area up with some blueberries as well if we can, because then we'd be able to get deer over here as well. So the altitude factor is good. We can put some of these in. Then we should be able to get some more deer. And we can support a wolf population. Okay, what is the deer's other like species that we don't have? Sycamore trees. Okay, well that's not gonna happen, but that's okay. It probably won't have too huge of an effect. Yeah, it's not too big of an effect. So we should be good, and then once these guys have settled in a little bit more, then we'll see. The wolves should be able to head down there and hunt. They look like they're sticking together, and I think you guys have even said that they do hunt in packs in this game, and that is really, really awesome. So, do we have, that's a size of 1, size of 1, what is this? Size of 1, size of 1, size of 99, or point 99. This one's not gonna die or anything, is it? I don't think it should. I don't know now where we would have one of those that's gonna be that much bigger. Surely we've got to see one show up soon, right? I'm gonna remove a few of these so it doesn't get crowded out. Surely, right? It can't be that much, it can't be that far away, right? That's not a very big one either. Wolf is getting hungry. There's a wolf that one of the wolves just hunted. That one's gonna go hunt. See, is this where we're having problems? Because this wolf is hunting, let me click. This wolf is hunting more dangerous prey. And I think, no, it's gonna go back and eat some of this meat, I think. Yeah, that's what's gonna happen here. And so Freedom the wolf is feeling very, very good right at the moment. Lulu's now fully fed as well, so that's good. Alright, so I think that's what was causing such problems, is they were having a hard time getting to actually be able to hunt the goats, and so now that they have more options, hopefully that will help. So I'm going to turn this off of notification because we keep getting notified for it a lot. Now we have 2 deer here, and I'm still not seeing this tree actually reproducing, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put a fir tree. What is it? Okay, what liked species does it need? I think it's rocks, right? Large rocks. So, if we put one here, the altitude factor is good. So we can have another little mountain range here, as long as we put down some snow rocks and make sure we have enough of those. So we'll put something down in this meadow for the wolves to eat, I believe, because we'll try and get wolves on this mountain range as well. So here's our fir tree. We can place some of these in. They'll start to turn it to snow biome, but I'm going to take this one solitary one here, and what we'll do is we'll actually selectively breed this to be very large in size. I'll put it like all the way up to this far. It's going to cost us a lot, but then any trees that show up on this mountain should have the large enough size factor for us to be able to transplant them as needed or whatever, because I'm not seeing this one doing what we were hoping it would, and creating trees that are going to have a better size factor. So real quick, let's take a look at our tasks. Oh, we can collect the hungry turtle one as well. Hungry fish is good, so once we claim this the first time it becomes repeatable. And so what else do we need? If we go back here, then we have 45 of 53 tasks, so less than 53 left to complete, or sorry, not less than 53, less than 10 left to complete. Banana farmer, we want to go get bananas now. So if we do that, if I had to guess, do they come from this? Yes. So we need the color trait mud green, and we need higher productivity. So I'm going to place a coconut tree over here, and we'll start our palm tree. Sorry, we'll start working on this. It should be pretty happy. Yes. And so we need the trait. We need a higher productivity. So we want to make this be really, really good. I'll just crank it way up, and then we want the trait of mud green here. So anything that comes from this should be able to be turned into a banana tree then. We got a hungry pike down there, but hopefully that'll be alright. Yeah, there's other fish swimming around he could eat. Did he just die? He just died. Okay. So that was his fault for not hunting. There was food available at his disposal. And this is going to be when we actually see something show up that does have... No, it's actually not. Okay. So I just want to see then if we're able over here, if we've had anything come in yet. No, we haven't, because this is still growing up very slowly. It's going to take a while, isn't it? Yeah, it's gonna take a while for this to grow up. So we'll leave that be for the time being. Maybe I'll add in some holly. What is it like? It likes rocks and stones. So if I place that there, it'll be happy. We can plant some of this down. That'll help spread the snow biome a little bit more. And if we look at bluebells, wherever they are, they're somewhere around here, but I don't know where. Right here. Oh, they're actually on page 1. Then they should be pretty happy up here as well, and will also help make this into a better snow biome. So let's spread some of this around and kind of just get this started, and then what I think I'm going to actually do is maybe make a small woodland area. If we look at that, it's almost time to wrap up, so we'll be doing that shortly. So the altitude factor is fine here. What about for this? It likes to be below 40, so... Oh yeah, this is still fine. It's still going to be happy here. So if we place down some buttercups, we can start to change this little area into a woodland. This will be okay as well. What is its like species? I missed something here. It likes woodland trees, so we want to place some elm trees in. They're not super happy right now, but we want to kind of just get this started so that the biome will continue to spread. Our poppies, they like to be below 50, so we can put these down. Wait, what is their like species? Stones. So we don't have any stones. We'll place some of those in and get started with this, because then by the time the snow area has grown up, all of these things will be a lot happier and more established, and we can have deer and bees and things. So we've got the poppies in. If we look at what else spreads the woodland biome, snapdragons. They like to be below 30. Oh, so they'll actually be happy in some of these places. This is not a very high mountain range, which is kind of nice. So let's put some of those in. We can put some bees in then, if I can find where they are. So they're right here. We can put some of them in. And then I'll also put some deer in. What is the other like species that deer don't have here? They like sycamore trees. So if we go back... sorry, that's not where we need to go back to. So let's look at lives in the woodland. We should be able to see where the sycamore trees are. Wait, we have sycamore trees, right? Yeah, we have sycamore trees. Maybe because they're not fully grown. But if we put those in, the bees might attack the deer, but I don't expect that to happen to a huge degree. It'll be kind of interesting to see how that works. They have, what's their other one? Bushes. Oh, yeah, of course, because we got to put bushes in for them to have food, too. So this won't spread anything, right? It doesn't spread anything, so we can put some blueberry bushes in. We don't actually have enough DP anymore. That's a first. It's been a while since that's happened. We had a lot this episode. And I think, shouldn't there be normal berry bushes here, too? Yeah. So what do these do? They don't spread anything, but they don't like large rocks either, so we can just put some normal ones in as well. And then we'll have a pretty good woodland area starting to grow up here. Now, is this tree fully grown yet? No, not even close. Oh, but it did reproduce. Okay, so real fast then, if we go here, it needs more bluebells. So I'm gonna just, oh, we can't transplant. Let's go a little bit further because it will earn DP really, really fast here. So there we go. We can now transplant this over here to our other snow biome where we have more bluebells. I'm gonna look for an area where it seems like we have a lot of them. So right here would be perfect. And before we end off the episode, we'll try and get spruce trees in the game as well. I'll clear that size trait because we no longer need to be seeing that. So I know we went a little bit over time, but this way we'll at least have... Who's hungry? Who's hungry? Oh, why are you hungry? You can hunt. They're almost just as bad as the squirrels saying they're hungry when they're not. But anyway, there we go. So we now have a spruce tree. Where is it even? Oh, it's right there. It's hiding. I see. So if I put that right here, will it be pretty happy? No. Oh, what's wrong? What's wrong with this? Why is it unhappy? Disliked species. What does it dislike? It doesn't like large rocks. Oh man. Okay, well we'll transplant it. So that's kind of interesting. I would have thought it would like those. Maybe we'll make sure we plant some spruce trees over here. It's actually enjoying itself more. We can also get pine trees. Does this spread? It spreads snow biome. What does pine tree spread? It doesn't spread anything. So if we plant in some of these spruce trees up here, then we just got to make sure we don't put the large rocks there. So we can't have wolves there in that case. If we look at, I want to see what spreads the snow biome. We'll just plant a few more of these in real quickly. We'll plant some of the spruce trees. The altitude factor is not ideal. They like to be really high up, I guess. Is that what's happening here? What is their altitude factor? Above 50, so I guess this isn't quite high enough then, I guess, but they'll be all right. They won't be, they're not terribly upset by that. So we can try and see if we can get some of them in on this range here. I'm placing a lot because I hope some of them don't die. But we can also place in some holly if that's fine. It likes rocks or stones, so this only dislikes large rocks, right? Yes, so we can put in smaller stones over here, and that'll be fine as long as we place a few of these. Then we can put in some holly as well, and some bluebells probably. Let me just see what these guys... They don't have any like species, so we can put some of these in. They'll help spread this area. Oh, the altitude factor, they also like to be really high up, so they're not going to be super happy either. But we can put holly bushes in, and their altitude factor is a little bit more forgiving, but otherwise, it's still not the greatest. But anyway, I think this will work for now, but we're going to go ahead and wrap up the episode here for today because it is about that time again. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. But until then, this is Jay, over and out.